In 2020, North Korea blew up a fragile diplomatic liaison office on its southern border. By 2024, they were sending bags of trash and feces floating over the demilitarized zone, backed by threats of nuclear retaliation. These warnings are no longer coming from Kim Jong-un. The regime's most vicious rhetoric is now the work of his younger sister, Kim Yo Jong. Her position violates the internal logic of the state. North Korea remains a deeply patriarchal society, where women face systemic abuse, forced labor, and exploitation at the hands of officials. Yet she sits at the highest table of power in the Politburo. Defectors and intelligence agencies report that she has ordered the executions of high-ranking government officials simply because they annoyed her. Her authority contradicts the foundational rules of the North Korean system, leaving a geopolitical mystery as to how she reached the top of such a volatile hierarchy. The source of that power lies far from Pyongyang. We have to travel back to the mid-1990s, to the quiet streets of Bern, Switzerland. Two children from East Asia are enrolled in a local private school. They lead an outwardly normal life of soccer games and ski trips in the Alps and family visits to Disneyland Paris. Hidden behind these mundane identities were the heirs to the North Korean dictatorship, living as the children of diplomats under assumed names. This isolated childhood in a Western country forged a psychological bond that bypassed the regime's traditional structures, making her the only person Kim Jong-un truly trusts today. Their entire existence in Bern was a state-sponsored fiction. Their names and their passports were fabricated to hide their bloodline from the world. Even their family unit was a lie. The woman acting as their mother was actually their aunt, a regime minder sent to keep the siblings under total control while abroad. That illusion was fragile. Years later, that same aunt defected, fleeing into secrecy in the United States to escape the very family she once protected. The children's Western life ended as abruptly as it began. With no warning or goodbyes, they were pulled from school and vanished back into the shadows of Pyongyang. Spending their formative years within a lie and a foreign land taught the siblings they could rely on no one except each other. Kim Jong-un secured his rule by purging his inner circle to eliminate rivals. This created a vacuum of trust at the top. Kim Yo Jong filled that void, rising from a quiet assistant to first deputy director of the propaganda department. This department is the regime's primary tool for survival, controlling every image, speech, and piece of information allowed within the country's borders. Because they share the foundational secret of their Swiss childhood, she is the only biologically and psychologically safe confidant he has. She bypasses the patriarchy because she is the only one he knows will not betray him. She utilized her Western exposure to execute a coordinated rebranding of her brother during the 2018 diplomatic thaw. She traveled to South Korea for the Winter Olympics, using a soft-spoken demeanor to charm the media and engage high-level diplomatic targets like President Moon Jae-in. That charm was a temporary tactic. She has since pivoted to hostility, taking over as the chief mouthpiece for military threats in the digital age. Her Western exposure produced a master of manipulation. She learned to speak the language of the international community, only to better insulate the regime from it. This control of information is vital because of a critical vulnerability in the Kim line. Kim Jong-un's lifestyle has led to rumored health problems, creating a ticking clock for succession. The regime has attempted to project stability by parading his young daughter at missile launches, presenting her as the next in line. But an 11-year-old girl cannot maintain control over a volatile, nuclear-armed state if her father dies. Surviving a transition in this system requires undeniable authority and the direct mandate of the Kim bloodline, traits only one other person possesses. That secret childhood in Switzerland created the single most durable bond in Pyongyang, positioning a ruthlessly capable operator as the successor to a 50-warhead nuclear arsenal.